So, I'm finally doing it. I'm finally taking my own words of advice and applying them. For those unaware of what it is, if you've seen my AI videos, I've commonly, and even my post even, I've suggested a lot about getting products that do not require technology, or at least have minimal technology, and I think this is important for a few reasons. It's a scary place, the world we're in at the moment. And it's seeming like the use of technology is more of a burden than it is a blessing. As we're seeing with things like the war in Ukraine and between Russia, we're also seeing it in obviously Israel. The use of technology is really badly utilised, and it's just not great. Like, it's so bad. So it's confusing really when you look at it, because it's like, how has it gone this bad? And then you realise it's because idiots rule the world, and yeah, that's the sort of world we live in, and it sucks. And I wish it could be better. But this has got me thinking about ways to mitigate this issue, where we might end up in cyber warfare, and even something like AI Chernobyl, I'll call this, because we're literally watching the internet die before us. You know, there's going to be an elephant's foot, there's going to be tons of things that could sort of mimic Chernobyl in that case. It's going to be instability, and it's going to take years to even develop something to counter it. It's going to be horrific. The internet we knew and love is long gone now. We're in the moments where we're seeing it fade away. We're seeing it being removed, and governments are not helping that. They're in fact trying to take the internet away, and you won't ever see it again after that. So it naturally creates panic and just makes you feel just so like unwelcome and even worried. So it no doubt makes us all worry. The fact that AI is replacing everything we know is concerning. And my suggestion for overcoming this is to actually start to collect things that aren't technology. This could be board games, it could be books. Speaking of which, I need to look for new ones. I just need to buy the entire discography, actually, of like Discworld or something. Try to put that in the Discworld. Yeah, like these are sort of things you can do, and it's very viable. Like, you can even go to charity shops and pick up things from there if that's an option available to you. And even like clothes and stuff, and even you could probably find first aid kits there, to be honest. But this is an important topic just because it's a concerning world we live in. You never know what's going to happen. Like, today we're enjoying our favourite TV shows, and the next, like, Netflix pulled the plug, and the UK has been hit by Russia because we are scary Air Force people, apparently. And yeah, that just creates more issues, and we may not even have power by the end of it. So there's always that concern, that worry. I do have to call out a channel because it's so fucking shitty. It's like scaremongering, and this didn't come from that. Actually, it's more like my own, I guess, intuition, intelligence led me to go down this route anyway. But the channel, which I knew the name of, I can't remember, it's basically spread fear mongering among people and started suggesting ways that we can counteract a sudden plague or just another new virus that's so deadly that we end up with blackouts and stuff. It's like, what the fuck? And then the reason for this was the UK's recent filing or something. I think it was administration, I can't remember what it was, but they're basically preparing for mass casualty tents, which for anyone unaware is actually official. And these are typically for holding anywhere from like 600 to a few thousand people. And the thing that this video will say, which is also really dumb, they were saying that this is possibly the end of the world, and this channel essentially preys on people who are scared and vulnerable, which is really shitty. Which is why I wish I knew the name so I could actually call it out and possibly report it. But they're basically spreading this information to make it seem like we're nearing the end of our days as a country and as people, which is not true. Because I also had to look this up, and there are apparently procedures that take place in the event of potential disaster, like weather disasters or even just a virus or illness. And what happens then is every single emergency service gets into gear. They have their own protocol, and so too do schools and stuff. So the lack of that happening means that it isn't actually going to happen, which is why this channel is frankly stupid and shouldn't exist, and why it's dangerous as well. And not only that, because even after I've stopped watching it, it's like I come out of it with a sense of dread because I'm quite easily intimidated. But like a few days after that, I think I went on TikTok and there was a video of some random guy saying the same thing. Like, great. So this shit is actually working, and so you're giving this cunt more money. Yeah, great. And like, he may be trying to help survival, but still, he's fear-mongering in the worst way possible, and it's like, you didn't even put even like neutral or happy music in between it. It's like, you're not doing anything here, you're just trying to scare people. So this all leads me on how I came about to start preparing for things like war. And it came about from observing what politics that we're in. For example, so Ukraine, yeah, that's a new one. Ukraine and Russia, or even like Palestine and Gaza. But the other thing with that is basically like what happened in Nepal, for example, like Gen Z and stuff, and that could happen in the opposite way. You know, here in the UK, it could literally just be fascism takes over. Suddenly the streets are filled with absolute fascists and neo-Nazis and stuff. And we don't really have any way to counteract that. And suddenly the power system goes down and, you know, blackout. Bye-bye power. Bye-bye technology. And yeah, you're left with no way out. And that's why I've invested in preparing myself for this eventuality. It's not really something that I'm doing like, oh, I'm going to spend all my benefit money on this. No. I spend it on necessities first, and then on the side I'll buy every now and then something. You know, I'm starting to collect. I've got a few board games and got cards as well. So I've got books as well, I've got drawing stuff, I've got like tools. There's different ways to prepare this. I've even got power sources. But I've not gotten overboard, and that's the important thing here. Because there's no certainty around what might happen and what will happen. It's important to reel yourself in. You'd never want to go overboard. Because I haven't gone out and gotten a power bank, for example, yet. I haven't bought bottles of water, even though you can literally just buy a life straw. So you can collect rainy water. Although, having said that, fuck, if it turns into nuclear war, oh, okay. So maybe I do need to get water, but that's besides the point. Definitely need to get like canned food and stuff, and dried food for that matter. And possibly like a gas cooker somehow. There's like different things you need to take into account. And yeah, like, I'm just preparing for this possible event in the future that could happen, and I will end up not regretting it myself. And you might say that, oh, it's really selfish to do that for yourself and not others. But here's really the thing I realise. I'm not exactly doing it for myself. I know that I wouldn't survive in war, just to begin with. You know, if I hear suddenly bombs dropping or something, and you know, missile attacks or planes flying over, or whatever, tanks, I'll just kill myself. I'll seriously do that. Because I don't want to live through it. And if I don't kill myself anyway, I'd fight back however I can. I could have buying a lighter and some alcohol and some tissues, and I can make a Molotov and take out some people, but either way, that's sort of the thing that I prepare for, and I'll die trying. That'll be the priority, but if there is a case where I can't, I'll still end my life and I'll leave my stuff out, leave it for people to take, essentially share it, and also these things also work in a trade. So hopefully if people are civilised enough, you can actually trade these various things that you've collected, or what I've collected in this case. And I'll essentially make an economy, and you all benefit from it. And that's pretty important as well. Trying to think what else it was. I suppose there's something else I was going to say. I can't remember, but it's important to prepare for this, honestly. I recommend people start just buying one or two things every payday or something to get stocked up and prepare for the worst sort of thing that can happen. Because you never know. I keep repeating it, but you literally do never know. And it could just happen in a matter of hours, it could happen overnight. It's not impossible. And really, it shouldn't be fear that drives you, it should be curiosity and just intelligence, really. It should drive you to do better and consider this. We're not immune just because we're far out of the way of like Russia or something, even the US or just Europe. Like, there's no immunity. And if you look at what's happened in Gaza, where they initially had a fair amount of technology and they weren't underdeveloped by any means, they got overrun in the matter of years, months even, and had no way to fight back or even report on it. And only a select few people were brave enough to record the events, even were able to spread that message, they were able to show the world what happened. It's just horrific that they can't get out of that situation, and again they're sort of stranded because there's nothing coming in. There's no escape, and that's a crappy situation to be in. And when it thinks that you can tolerate it, go ahead and join them. Seriously. Because it's not easy. And this is a problem with people who criticise Palestine of all things. Like, are you brave enough to go there yourself? Like, why are you sitting here saying they're terrorists? Like, why the fuck are you saying that? Because there's no evidence that there are terrorists in Gaza. And even then, the ones that were, supposedly, they're no longer here. So what gives? And what's the actual justification? Is it just an enjoyment from killing children, women, and raping women? Like, there's some really fucked up mind games going on. That's why it's important to criticise people and discuss this. Yeah, like, people think they can handle this sort of thing if it happens to our own country, which is absolutely nuts. I guarantee you probably can't. I think I've said enough at this point about this topic. I'm going to look into like handheld gaming as well. I do have a laptop, but I don't think I'll charge on solar power, so handheld gaming it's like, again, preparing. It's important, because you never know. Yeah, if anyone has any insights on that, and I don't know, other suggestions, I'm open to hearing it. It's a topic that kind of interests me at the moment, because it's important. Again, you never know. That's literally the title of this. What's the name of that? It's cloudy outside. Is nuclear war happening already? Oh, goodbye, everyone.